we're here. So I was debating about a little sound through our yoga practice today. Or do you kind of like the sound of the rain and the quiet? No, it's just a quiet background music. Like rain, I know. I was kind of torn too. So let's need a little bit of background sound with my tones. Are going to shift this from each prana vayu. So there'll be a tone. So we'll get started. You might just take a moment to kind of dedicate our practice. Crazy how lucky we are to have a day in our lives to study these tools, and how that's like really a luxury. Yeah. Right now. Just take a few minutes of just silence, so we can just kind of really drop into this space and acknowledge that, able to practice close the eyes. Chant Om 3 times. And your exhale coming all the way out. Deep inhale. Just let your hands rest in your lap, just sitting up nice and tall. Just move into our practice this morning, so just enjoy moving your space and retreat for the day. Beautiful rain outside. Check in with yourself at the moment if you haven't already. Just noticing the quality of the mind. We'll scan down through the body, noticing areas of gripping, of tension, ease or lightness. Any strong emotion is present, just noticing it. What's here, just all that's with you today is welcome here. Welcome where you're not always. Some practices that really attune to the organ systems and the inner sensations. A little, very subtle attunement. And always feel free, invitation to be comfortable with your movement, comfortable in your space, coming to where you need to be today. It's your practice, it's your time to explore or to move away in any way you see. Take a moment just to actually come back to standing and come into mountain pose. Find your feet on the earth. Standing up tall. Bringing the right arm up and over. Then we're going to take the left hand, grab the right wrist, and just jump over into a side bend. Pause. And as you take a few breaths, feel the outer edge of the right lung. The outer edge. And taking the breath into the outer edge of the right lung. The lungs are where we receive prana. So we're going to stimulate, bring attention to the lungs, letting prana. Inhale, come all the way up. Bring the right arm down in the front. Just kind of pull with the left hand, pulling the scapula away from the spine gently. And cross the right arm over the left and Vayus arms. And so with the in breath, just feeling a little lift in the elbows and the back side of the right lung. Breathing into the back side of the right lung. And you might even on your exhale, just kind of bend your knees and round your spine, just feeling that back side of that right lung. And then inhale, straighten the knees. If you like, lift the elbows up. And exhale, bend the knees. Slightly round the spine, but stay here and pause. And just take the breath into the back side of the right lung. And notice if there's any areas that feel out of contact there. Our the organs of receiving energy, receiving into ourselves, the prana Vayus. So we're going to lift back up, and on grab the left wrist again, or the right wrist, reach up and over, 5 times again. Now this time the inner edge of the right lung. Take several breaths. See if that breath, the inhalation can fill the inner edge of that right lung. Take your attention there. You can close your eyes if you want. We'll inhale all the way back. The arms float down. Take the right arm behind your back. Take the left hand and press the palm. And we'll turn our head towards the left. Just feel the front side of the right lung. And notice, does that whole space fill? So it's from the lower ribs to the collarbone. The lung space fills the right side of the chest. So maybe take one more breath. Yeah, and just noticing that lung. So release, and then let your arms hang by your sides and close your eyes. Take a breath, feel both lungs, and notice if you feel a difference between right to left. Very subtle. Does the right lung feel different than the left? You can just notice what you notice, right? There's no requirement to notice anything at all. Take a breath and reach all the way up, grabbing the left wrist. Side bending over. Outer edge of the left lung. So the prana Vayus is our receiving. We receive breath, we receive into ourselves prana. The lungs are the organ of the prana Vayus. Some of those side ribs all fill with breath. There's areas that are less open. Take a breath and stretch all the way up. Bring the left arm down in front, kind of stretch the arm away from the shoulder, and then cross it over the other arm. Left arm over, right, grabbing to Vayus. Inhale, pause, and sense the back side of the left lung. Deepen your breath a little bit, filling, noticing the lower rib to the top of the scapula. On your exhale, you might, if you like to, take a little bow forward, rounding the spine, almost like a cat pose, bending the knees. Inhale, push into the feet, lift the elbows up. Try that one more time. If you like, use that Brings attention to the left, back side of the left lung. Breathing in to the feet to the line, and breathing out to round the spine. Bend. And we'll take our arms all the way up. Deep breath in. And circling down, around, crossing the left arm behind you, right hand to the palm. Turn your head to the right. Front side of the left lung. Take a deep breath. And so we're noticing these organs here. Only feeling or sensing the organs that allow us to sense taking in prana, taking in energy. Supporting our breath. Release them down. Relax. Come onto our hands and knees. So coming into a table. We're taking a moment to just drop the chest towards the floor. Inhaling, looking forward. And as you're exhaling, rounding your spine. So feeling the back ribs, both lungs. As you move into cat and cow on the in breath, the lungs swell, we look forward. And on the out breath, rounding the spine, feeling into the back side of the lung space. So bringing prana to these organs. As you come back to neutral, pause. And just toning and creating the container. We're going to walk our hands forward. Just come forward. If you need cushion under your knees, you could. Just do some mini chaturanga. So little dips. So just bending the elbows into your sides and then straightening up. Inhale. So finding the container, find the front side of the chest, front side of the lungs. And these mini push-ups, really small, but sensing the ojas, the building sensations in the pectorals around the front side of the chest. Press up and back and sit back into child's pose and just pause and take several breaths. Now filling the lung space and just kind of see, where do you notice sensation? Can you feel, do the lungs fill into the armpits and up to the collarbones, across the chest, down to the lower ribs and to the top of the scapula? As you take several breaths, maybe noticing, is there more energy or sensation in the front side of the chest or the back side, the back ribs? We'll swing our legs around, coming to seated, legs extended out. And bend in your knees. And we'll slide the hands back behind you. So now we're feeling the back ribs. So just some little dips. We're going to bend the elbows into our sides. And then press up. So when you're pressing up, find the scapula sliding down your back. Inhale to dip. Feel small and exhale. Notice what engages here. And maybe one side feels different than the other. Maybe we feel sensation possibly in the back lung space. This last one. And then come all the way onto your back. You just pause in Shavasana and feel the sensations of Prana Vayus. Taking in and receiving what you need into your body, that flow of energy, that the lungs and the heart. Filling with each breath, nice inhalation, sending the space of the lungs outwards. Noticing as you exhale the space of the lungs coming inwards. Roll right over onto the belly. And coming into the prana, crocodile pose. Bring your forehead to the hand. Feet about hip width apart. Just rest your forehead on your hand. Taking a few breaths, relax. As you move into the next Vayu, the organs of letting go, of letting things pass through us. So Apana Vayu. Apana is the downward energy. So you bring your attention here into relaxing the pelvic floor. The legs are soft, the back is soft, the body is soft. And feeling the breath against the floor as you breathe in, the deep abdominal wall is pressing heavily against the floor. And as we're exhaling, drawing the belly slightly back and just letting it expand, just soften. So we're going to bring our attention to what's called Ashwini Mudra, and I've never taught this before, but it is the organ of letting go. So we're going to bring this. It's a connection actually to the rectum, the anal sphincter, and the root of the buttocks. And so with the exhalation, let's roll the buttocks in towards each other. So this gentle squeeze and release. And next time you exhale, roll the buttocks towards each other. Just kind of close the anal sphincter. These muscles are very subtle and isolated from even the pelvic floor. So they are the center of letting go energy. So it's a little strange to go there, but it's how our body lets go, senses and knows. So let's try a couple more. So just as you exhale, rolling the buttocks in, squeezing the anal sphincter. breath and just relax. So most importantly here is to really let a relaxation come through the glutes and that muscle. Taking a few breaths, just letting go. And then bring our hands next to the chest, rising up into a table. Bring the forearms down to the floor. So we're coming to the table, but on our forearms. We're just going to kind of feel the sense of our glutes activating. So stretching the left leg backward. Take a breath in, lifting till we feel lifting that right leg up. And tighter movements are Vayus. So we're going to tuck the knee into the chest. Right, squeezing the perineum. Inhale, stretch the leg back to feel the glute muscles. So very subtle and gentle. Just feeling the glute. And exhaling, tucking in and rounding a little bit so you feel the perineum. Just take that at any time. Deep breath to extend the leg and start to feel the building sensations and energy flowing to the organs of elimination, the letting go by you of the prana. And let that leg come down and just come back into child's pose. You take several breaths, just relaxing completely. And noticing the different sensations from right to left in the glute area, in the base of the body. Letting the breath be the guide. Notice the difference in that energy as moving into different parts of our body. And we'll come back up onto our forearms and move to the other side. So extending the left leg back, lifting, feeling those sensations of building in the glute. And then exhale, we'll be gently tucking in. Push, you may take a heel, you might feel those sensations, but not forcing. You want to notice really the subtlety of this energy moving into the base of our body. And the next time you bring your knee back down, just go back into child's pose. And take a few breaths, just really into the hips, the glutes, the sensation of a pancha. We're going to move around and come onto our back. So lift up the knees. Arms at your sides. The organs of digestion and Apana Vayu, the reproductive organs, just kind of sensing here behind the abdominal wall. So we're going to take our hands right to the abdomen. And on the exhalation, just kind of feel a shrinking between the hip bones. And you could even slide your fingers towards each other, almost smoothing the transverse abdominis towards the navel. In the in-breath, just feel a softening of the transverse or Uddiyana Bandha. And on the exhale, sliding the hands towards each other, sensing the contraction between the hip bones. You could even press the back down into the floor. This helps us to sense that. Maybe take one more breath. And pressing the back to the floor, hugging in towards the digestive organs. And then release. Put your arms out to the sides for a moment. Taking a breath. This time as you exhale, draw the pubic bone towards the navel. So we're now thinking more about rectus abdominis, and long, slow exhale, just tucking right there, shortening that distance. And then releasing. So the in-breath softens that lower belly. And the exhale, drawing pubic bone towards the navel. And hugging back against the digestive organs, these organs of letting go energy in our body. And then just release for a moment, pause, take a breath. And we're going to just receive for a moment, just feeling the flow, any sensations around the organs of elimination and reproduction, sensing a pancha. Relaxing and letting go. And we'll do one more, just fill up strengthening of this Vayu by rolling the buttocks towards each other, squeezing the anal sphincter, contracting the pubic bone towards the navel, hugging the belly in, and then slightly pick the hips up off the floor. And we're going to hold that. So the whole container of a Vayu. Everything engaged, everything hugging in. Squeezing towards the deep organ tissues. We take one more breath, contracting here. And then softening, lowering the hips down. And once you get there, just relaxing completely. So wherever you want your feet, place your feet so you can totally relax through the pelvic floor, through the abdomen, through the glutes, through the anal sphincter. Notice maybe where you maybe haven't relaxed before. Maybe it's a new area of awareness. we'll take our knees into the chest, or actually, sorry, feet to the floor. Let's pick up the hips and move to the right. And we're going to drop our knees to the left and just take a spinal twist. Moving into Samana Vayu, the organs of assimilation. So as you pause here in your spinal twist, you can bring your right hand to your oblique area. So the oblique muscles, your side muscles there between your lower ribs and your hip. Find the breath here. On the in-breath, just feeling, sensing the oblique muscles. And on the right is your liver. So on the exhalation, so these organs of assimilation, how we take in and then we distribute and absorb nutrients. We take in ideas, experiences, and then we assimilate them into our tissues. Sense and feel that. So as you exhale, we're going to contract the hip towards the lower ribs. So squeezing the obliques right here, creating some tension in the obliques right around the liver. So I even like to lift my feet off the floor to contract it a little bit, right? Feeling that contraction on the side, and then release it as you breathe in. Soften it, and as you exhale, you might lift the feet just a couple inches, squeeze the waist, hugging in towards the liver, and releasing. Just continuing those subtle movements. Breathing in to release. Exhaling to contract and really hug the muscle in. Release completely and roll onto your back and just sense your sides for a moment. Compare the right to the left. Taking a breath in and a breath out. Remember, the breath is our guide into the body to explore these Vayus, to explore these pathways. So the breath will take you and help you notice prana. Maybe notice a different feeling in that right side than the left. Let it absorb into tissues, assimilating experience. And let's move to the other side. So we'll pick our hips up, set them to the left. Let your knees drop to the right. And just bring your left hand to your obliques or between your lower rib and hip. And take a breath here. Let's begin that contraction. So with your exhale, lifting your feet, contracting that area, squeezing the area around the stomach, the pancreas, the spleen, flooding sensation into this area. Maybe release as you exhale. Let's do that a few times. Contracting and releasing. As if your left hip bone could touch your lower left rib. Maybe hold this last one just for an extra pause and contraction. And release. And just roll back onto your back. And let your breath explore these areas around the waist, around the organs. Breathing into the midsection, the Samana Vayu. The organs that the energy of assimilation, of absorption. Notice if any area feels out of touch or just doesn't fill with the breath. That's okay. No judgments. Maybe we don't notice sensation at all. That's okay too. Just something to notice. And we're going to roll over and come into a table. Continuing with this area of the body. So separating, we're coming into a wide table this time. So if it's comfortable for you, separate your knees a little wider and your hands a little wider than your normal tabletop. And a little, what's called nollie. Nollie is kind of like this, getting into our sideways in our stomach, but we're going to move that way again. So the in-breath, a table here. As you exhale, we're going to shift our weight to the right hand, right knee, and contract the right waist, just like we did on our side. So see, we can draw that contraction into the right waist. And then as you inhale, come back to your table, shift your weight to center. And then exhale, shift your weight to left hand, left knee, and contract the left waist. So feeling there. And then inhale to center. Making like a figure 8. So we're just going to continue that. Shift your weight right, contract into the liver and back to center. Shift your weight left and contract. As you exhale, inhale to center. And go at your own pace. We'll do this a few more times. Just see what you notice. It can, it might take a little getting used to. It's pretty micro movements, so just see what you can do with it. Maybe take one more on that last side. Contracting and back to neutral. And sitting back into child's pose or wide-legged child's pose if you want. And pause and just feel the breath into the waist and the sides and the back. Where does it go? Do you feel an assimilation of sorts, like you're just absorbing the experience of it? And we'll walk our hands in, coming up to standing, and all the way up. Take a deep breath, stretching up, lengthening spine. Feet about hip width apart, and we're going to just bend the knees slightly, coming into a standing cat and cow. So just feeling the in breath, lengthening the spine, and the out breath, hug in the solar plexus towards the kidneys. Okay, so it's just really small, but really focused in your concentration. So the in breath, your cow pose, and your out breath, hug in the solar plexus or the midsection towards the kidneys and the diaphragm. Maybe take one more like that. Longer, slower exhale, maybe. Coming all the way up. Pause and mountain. Just take a few breaths. You can bring your hands to your belly. Feel the sensation. You might be noticing one area of the body you're more comfortable with than others. And we're going to step our feet a little wider and wider than our shoulders and take that, those sideways contractions like we did on the floor. So we're going to slide our hands down. So we inhale here, longer spine. And then exhale, shift your weight to the right, contract to the right sideways. Inhale, relax into center. Exhale, contracting the left sideways. So the organs of assimilation are getting that flood of prana. So inhale, center. And at your own pace. So you don't have to be real aggressive about it, right? Energy wants to find its way, its pathway. So and we'll just come back to neutral. Come all the way up. Just pause. You can close your eyes and bring your hands to your belly and just feel the sensations of samana vayu, how we assimilate, digest, process, absorb, change and shift in our being, nourish ourselves. If it goes around to the back side by the kidney. Just soften and down. And down to the floor. Just come to a seated posture for a moment. Moving into down vayu. This flow of energy from the navel to our head circulates around. So we're going to fill that container of throat and the upper palate of the mouth. So just first feeling the neck. So let's pause. You might close your eyes and just touch your neck. Is it a part of you? It sounds strange, but do you really feel our neck? Most times we feel awake in our neck area. notice the breath as we breathe in. Is there sensation as the breath moves down the airway? Let's just take a moment to just stretch a little bit. We'll drop our right ear towards our right shoulder. And then drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. Just go back and forth a few times. So noticing area from collarbones to chin, top of the scapula to the base of the cranium. How we articulate and express our changes, how we manifest our changes that we've assimilated into our experience. Through our voice, other ways we express ourselves in the world. We'll come back to neutral here. Neutral chin. And just tilt the chin up, just feeling the front side of the neck. Dropping the chin towards the chest, the back side of the neck. Just go up and down a few times, so noticing sensation on the front side of the neck. Dropping the chin. This time, noticing maybe into the space of the mouth and the upper half of the mouth, root of the tongue, voice box, thyroid gland. Pause and just take a breath. Notice sensation in the neck. Breath here. Feel the container of this Udana Vayu, just dropping the right ear towards the right shoulder. And then take the right hand and just rest it. Nothing forced or pressing, but just let the hand rest over the ear. And now a bit of straightening, so we're pressing the head upwards into the hand. So just feel what the sensation of building or straightening or the container of Udana Vayu. So you're finding the sensations inside of the neck. Continue to lift your head so there's a light resistance, but not very gentle. And pause and take a breath and just comparing the right side of your neck to the left. Let the breath be explored. Sensations different. And drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. Take the left hand on top of the head. Let it rest. And the breath deepen. We'll slowly start to lift the head, feeling the resistance in from the ear to the shoulder. Let the tissues be, feel the prana kind of flooding here, so there's a building, just a gentle building. Continue to lift the head slightly. releasing and taking a breath. So I'm going to pause and take, well, we're going to take lion's breath. So just really waking up the throat and then riding the throat and not the abdomen again. So if you end up thinking of lion, you can even make claws with your hands because that kind of helps engage across here. But we're going to stick our tongue out as far as we can. Maybe some of you are learning stuff like that before. But on the exhale, it's going to be a so squeeze the face, stick the tongue out as far as you can, open the mouth, engage here, make your claws so you're so whatever you're trying to express, you can get it out. So we'll do that. How about we do it 3 times? So we'll take a deep breath in. Another breath. Take a few breaths, feel the sensation. My voice got a little rougher there. If you feel any areas waking up through the throat area. So we can express ourselves with our new self, maybe our new assimilated shift in our body. We're going to come down into bridge pose and onto our back. So feet about hip width apart, doing what you can. Right, arms by your sides. So with a level chin, just notice some space below your chin to your collarbones and your arms by your sides. And so we're gonna directly move into bridge pose, lifting our hips and to your highest point. So if you are able to tuck your shoulders and bind your hands behind your back, lengthening your arms, you can do that. It gives a little height to the upper back in your bridge. If not, just leave your arms by your sides, just taking your bridge. We'll take about 3 to 5 breaths, lifting the sternum towards the chin. Nourishing the throat, nourishing the upper palate of the mouth, nourishing the brain. When you're ready to release, coming back to the floor, releasing, softening. You can let your knees just rock in towards each other if you want, and find the residual sensation around the throat, the root of the tongue. So prana is vital life force. So is there any area that feels more awake around the throat, maybe to the brain? You Feel the awake sensations or the life sensations. And the next one, we're just going to take our blocks. So if you have a block, come into supported bridge at whatever height you choose. So you just bring it on a low level under your hips or turn it higher if you want a little more sensation. So bringing the pelvis, the tailbone right onto the block. So restorative bridge. And you can just let your upper arms roll back, broadening the space across the chest. Each breath, just now in a more relaxed bridge, finding and allowing a nourishing of Udana Vayu, connection between the upward flowing energy from our belly to our brain. So our brain then can discern how to express the shift in ourselves. How to name or articulate. When you're ready, just lowering the hips, coming back down to the floor and pause. Nice deep breath in and out. We're going to stretch out all the way into 5-pointed star. So Vyana Vayu. So Vyana Vayu, stretching arms wide, the legs wide, and making a press of the back of the arms against the floor, the back of the legs against the floor, feeling the entire body against the earth. So Vyana Vayu is heart and circulatory system, immune system, endocrine system, circulating through our ability to reach all parts of the body or just embody our changes, our shifts, our nourish all parts of ourselves with this new sense of being, or even just nourish ourselves with nutrients and oxygen. Every cell. So just sensing the entire body. So we're just going to press the arms back, press the heels down, the back of the head gently into the floor. So the back body feels engaged a bit. So you feel that sense of tension in the back body. All the capillaries and nerve endings. One of the capillaries of the circulatory system, the vascular system, goes to every part of our body. And then just release it. Relax it for a moment. one more contraction. Press the head back, the arms back to the legs, heels down, straighten the whole back body. Flooding the back body with nourishment, prana, life. And release it. And we're going to bring our legs back together and come over, coming into downward facing dog. So stepping back, quickly down your puppy if that's more comfortable for you today. And just keeping our downward dog, bringing awareness into the heart. The in-breath comes into the heart space. Now as you exhale, press into the balls of the feet, the palms of the hand, and hug the belly in. So again, totally in this body. One more breath here. Breath into the heart space. The heart fills and then it sends out nourishment to all parts of our body. So feeling our hands, our feet, our legs, our torso, our head. And then walk your feet forward. Coming all the way up. Receive in mountain pose for a moment. Take a few breaths. Right, those subtle sensations of flooding, those capillaries opening down to our fingertips and our toes. Every part of our vascular system. As the breath moves into those tiny little areas, really noticing where it's more open, spacious, or sensing. And then let's step wide, the upper body, and into triangle on the right. So if you want to use your long end of your mat, turn your toes to the right. And we're going to just bring the, coming into triangle, just sliding the right hand down. You can leave your left hand on your side and extending the spine. So let's find the in-breath, filling the heart, kind of filling the heart. And the out-breath to press down into the feet and expand the arms and lengthen up to your each fingertip, down to the other fingertip. And take simple breaths to embody this pose. So feeling the stability in the legs, the expansion in the back, so that your wings are settling on your back. And the building sensation as you hold. Right, even down to the capillaries that fill our pelvic floor and your abdomen. Let that arm come down, come all the way back up. Turn your toes straight. Feel a couple breaths, feel the left side compared to the right. So you stay raining or awakeness in that part of the body. Awakeness is a word. And we'll do that every the sides of triangle on the left. Sliding the left hand down, right hand to the waist. Breathing the breath into the heart. So sensing the breath or the heart fills with on the down when it's not beating, right? The off beat. And on the in when it beats, sending nourishment out to our limbs, our tissues, our cells. Start to help that sensation, the life by pressing down into the feet, reaching through the arms, engaging through the forearm, cross the back ribs, taking several breaths. Letting down to the tiniest capillaries, circulating the new shift. And even up to the crown of the head. And the release can come all the way up. Pause. The breath, notice the sensations. The nourishment filling all your tissues. Just start to reach into the inner body. So to me, it's an exploration, right? When we make a transformation, we have to explore how are we in the world. So I like to just move however you want to move right now and notice how you feel about your own movement. Feeling into any space that you need to feel, you want to feel. And bringing just that free movement, this new shift in yourself into the world requires a bit of great exploration. How do I interact? How do I assimilate? How do I integrate who I am now into my life? Right? So if it's uncomfortable to find new shapes yourself, just notice the uncomfortable. I'm not really comfortable finding it myself. I want someone to tell me how to do it. Well, maybe you can explore a little bit different, do something different. Moving your hips a different way, moving your hands a different way, even just your fingers, your toes, whatever feels good right now. All right, so massaging your experience into all your capillaries of your cells. You might even notice what area gives you more resistance. If it's around the chest, maybe the resistance is in Prana Vayus. Bringing in what you need. Whenever you feel like you explore enough, you can come into Shavasana and just rest. I'll rest for a few silent time for about 15 minutes to you can rise to lay in Shavasana or just whatever feels right for you. Moment. If you wanted to draw a body map, you could. I don't have my color pencil. I forgot how to do it. If you wanted to, you could draw a body map and just kind of write down anything you noticed or any area that felt less accessible or more accessible. Or journaling for like 15 minutes, whichever you like to do.
You would be journaling
No
after
problem.
the Shavasana?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can take the Shavasana.
Yes.
Okay.
We have 15 minutes, so like 15 minutes.
To do both.